Yeah. To all the and $100 billers. For real, who ain't got no feelings.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome, everybody, to the NBA on 2K Sports. The postseason contenders have really started to separate themselves at this point in the season. To break it all down, we've got Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. I'm just Ernie Jones. And coming right up, we'll see Montreal playing against the Bulls. Looking at the Bulls,
Thank you for tuning in this Sunday evening. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. This is Kevin Harlan. Well, it was the Chicago Bulls winning their last game against the Nets.
I mean, they were so impressive offensively, and when you do that, that can really help you on the road.
It's one thing to play inspired defense in that situation, but to get in that kind of offensive rhythm away from home, phenomenal.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So for Chicago right now, Robert Covington out there with Jokic. Then it's Dwayne Dedmon. Then there's C.J. McCollum. And it's Fournier in at the 2 spot. Stolen away. Now Montreal moving it up. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Yeah, well, I mean, once he gets the ball, it's just off to the races.
And you have to like the punctuation at the end of it. Great individual play.
Now here's McCollum. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. And it's Jokic in the corner. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. Jokic has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Now here's Paul. 17 points in his last outing. Pass to Satoransky. 6 on the shot clock. Screen by Capella. And the shot falls short this time.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You can see he's frustrated with that one. Knows it's up to him to make that play.
And so it's Montreal now. 4-point game. Defeated by the Pelicans in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
You know, their focus wasn't there in that one. Same with the shot selection.
I've seen worse shooting nights, but this was pretty bad, and it obviously cost them the game.
Chicago has gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game.
And for many years, the Chicago Bulls were viewed as a model franchise. Always were competitive and in the hunt for a title, but this current version just can't escape turmoil from within.
Now here's Fournier. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game.
And defensively, this is a nightmare. He's already on a roll.
Well, obviously, this was the strategy coming in. Feed him the rock and let him go to work.
Barnes against Covington. Barnes passes to Young. Over McCollum. Again, Young missing. And the Bulls finally committing, Greg, to a full rebuild this last offseason.
Yeah, and trading Butler was the start of it. I mean, they got some young players to build around and a pick, and won't be an easy road ahead, but one they felt they needed to make.
Montreal trails by 7. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And here is Capella. Currently averaging almost 6 points a game. And that one's good, Barnes.
When Barnes has space to fire from deep, you usually just assume it's going in. Very dangerous from outside.
Inside, here's Covington. That's tipped. 35 seconds left to play here in the first. Barnes against Covington. Shoots from the elbow. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Looking a little tentative on a very makeable shot, and this one was uncontested.
And again, Chicago, no good. For Montreal, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field. And the dunk by Capella.
No hesitation from Chris Paul, getting the basketball to the open man quickly.
McCollum kicks to Dedmon. The pass to Jokic. And he uses the glass on the layup. Jokic has got 8 points. Nikola Jokic firing on all cylinders for Chicago. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. Guys, what's your take? Here is Paul. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Taking a look at the Bulls, we've got Robert Covington. Dwayne Dedmon is out there with Jokic. Then it's Evan Fournier, and it's McCollum in at the point. And the rise of the analytics movement in basketball, Steve, hard to miss over the last 5 or 6 years. You can't read a story without a writer, without a broadcaster referring to some kind of number, analytic term, or an angle to a story. Teams incorporating a more scientific approach. How do you like that?
You know, Kevin, I love it, especially when you're evaluating guys coming out of college to the pro game. So much when guys use it just 100% to how to coach the game, teach the game, draft players. I still think all sports is a game of feel. And when you're out on that court, I'm not looking at saying this guy shoots from here because he's capable of doing other things. I think a little bit low dosage of it, but more importantly, I want guys to know how to play the game from the field.
For Montreal, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. They set the pick. Pass to Satoransky from deep. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Here's Barnes. A shot goes down and he gets this game back to even. Barnes has got his second bucket.
When the defense is non-existent like they were there, it's pretty easy to score like he did.
Jokic a screen. He dishes it to Covington. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Jokic a screen. Shot off the pick. And Covington with a nice bucket inside. Covington's got 5.
Tough screen set there, and the defense was not prepared for it.
McCollum against Paul. Barnes outside. Passes to Satoransky. Paul with the 3. Jokic grabs the miss. Jokic has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Well, Steve, when you think about leaders and players who mean as much for the mental game of their team as their coach, you know, Chris Paul right at the top of that list. He has always been a vocal floor general his whole career.
You're totally right. Paul is very aware of everything that is going on in a game. Can get in a teammate's face if they have a mental lapse. Not always an easy pill to swallow, but all players respect Chris Paul's leadership.
That one is no good. Montreal trails by 3. From the baseline. Barnes can't get it to go. Well, Chicago's gone 3 of 7 tonight from 3-point territory.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Bulls shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
He's perfect from the line this time.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Screen by Young. Paul kicks to Barnes. Capella with a screen on Covington. Here's Barnes. A putback. It's hauled in by the Bulls. And this matchup with Montreal, it's their first meeting of the season. And the Bulls with another miss.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Covington against Barnes. For the 3, and Robert Covington gets the 3. Covington's got 8 points.
I mean, just a good shooter taking what the defense allows. Find some space out beyond the arc.
Here's Barnes, and the dunk by Barnes.
Got to give credit to Barnes there. Masterful job collecting speed on the drive and punching it through the basket.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. McCollum against Paul. Covington passes to Jokic. And Jokic slams it in.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Ball outside from deep. And so it's Chicago holding on. All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny. The first quarter was all about Nikola Jokic. He had 10 points and 6 rebounds. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Bulls?
Well, they're getting high percentage looks, good game planning. The ball is moving around.
And it's just about
and the third quarter about ready to get underway. You look at Jokic in this game, he has been Montreal trails by 8. We've got Satoransky. Young is out there with Harrison Barnes. Then it's Clint Capella. And it's Paul in at the point guard. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. Here's Barnes. The turnaround jumper. Count it. Barnes has got the first points of the second half up on the board for Montreal. McCollum kicks to Fournier. Back to McCollum. Jokic with his screen on Paul. McCollum. The shot that time not on target. And it's Montreal the other way. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town for the next one. That'll be the latter half of this two-game homestand. Goes up at the stripe. Barnes with another miss. The Bulls leading by 6. Covington wide open. He fires. Here's Dedmon. And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And you know what? Just a tone setter there to start the second half. Just powering up for that rebound and getting it to fall.
And with the zone defenses the league allows right now, motion offense really becoming a key to efficient scoring, it seems, Steve. Do you like that trend?
I do, because it's really hard. They're taking advantages of the rules. Zone defense is hard to be able to stop teams that really move and move without the basketball. I would love for the league to go back to where a guy can have just a touch or a balance of touching somebody, because being able to guard somebody without touching at all, that is very hard.
I think most players would agree with you.
You just want to be able to touch to get a little balance.
Sure. Fournier with the ball, and Young picks him up defensively. Just 4 to shoot. Fournier dishes to McCollum. Sinks the three-pointer. McCollum's got the lead back up to 9 now for the Bulls.
And that's from beyond, guys, right back at you.
This is looking more like an all-star game right now. Everyone launching from range.
Screen by Young. Kicks to Paul. Over McCollum. Here's Capella.
That's an excellent pass. On time, on target. Great teamwork.
Chicago leading by 7. McCollum kicks to Fournier. Bulls moving the ball around. Back to Jokic. There's the dish to Dedmon. McCollum against Paul. A step back shot here. It's Chicago with another bucket.
And that's an element McCollum brings to their offense. The ability to drain the outside shot. It stretches the defense and makes them keep bodies on the perimeter.
Here's Paul. Jokic grabs the miss. Chicago has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Fournier in the corner. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. And it's a 12-point Chicago lead. And first time out of the game called for Montreal.
And this is what you got to do. I mean, if it ain't working, call timeout, try to figure out what you can do to fix the problem.
You know, also, it's just a chance to take a breath, regroup, get your mind set, and come back out fresh.
And so it's Montreal now. And Satoransky kicks to Barnes. Over Jokic. That misses off the backboard. The Bulls leading by 12. And even 3-on-3 break. Baseline try. Yep, that one goes in there. Fournier's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, and in terms of accuracy, they are dominating the second half.
I like that they're trying to maximize the value of each possession, and you know their coach likes it.
Here's Satoransky. He's guarded by Fournier. Satoransky, the pass to Capella, and the basket is good. Capella's got 6. For Chicago, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. McCollum against Paul. McCollum dishes to Dedmon. There's the pick. And Fournier kicks to Jokic. Good work defensively by Capella. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. It's Chicago. They lead by 12. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. Now let's take a listen on head coach Dwayne Casey.
We got to keep the ball moving, keep drawing.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Chicago leading by 12. On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. Jokic is out there with Robert Covington. Then there's C.J. McCollum. Then it's Evan Fournier. And it's Dedmon in at the center position.
He likes to work that in-between area, upset with himself that he couldn't connect.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And Harrison Barnes, just a tremendous athlete at that small forward position. I think his strength enables him to guard up and hold his own against power forwards, and coaches love that versatility. Just solid, really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Now here's Fournier. Defense right on him. Here's Jokic. Can't hit that one. Good work defensively by Capella. And Greg, you look at the versatility of Barnes. He can defend, I think, 3 positions.
And that's what the league is all about now. Switching on picks, much more popular. And with an all-around solid defender like Barnes, it doesn't uncover mismatches.
Poked away and stolen by Fournier. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Throws down off the coast-to-coast drive.
And a late reaction by the defense makes that one a no contest.
You know, he got out before people could turn their heads, and he's already gone with no hesitation.
Screen by Capella. Young left side. That one no good. The Bulls leading by 12. Fournier passes to Dedmon, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Now, the NBA can be a superstitious place at times, Steve, with all the quirks and characters in the league. And when you played, what was the strangest game day ritual that you ever saw?
I think Harold Miner. He touched everything with his nose, his gym shoes, his wristbands, the basketballs at the free throw line, and everybody did. And I think for me, as I got older, it wasn't strange. It was out of necessity. I had to get in some kind of steam room and have all those hot pads wrapped around me just to get loose to play.
I like that story. I don't like Baby Jordan's story, though. Harold Miner, that doesn't work for me. I don't understand that. Montreal calls timeout.
Yeah, I mean, just wants to make sure everybody's on the same page here going forward.
You know, sometimes the best way to approach it, let your guys know what they're doing well and give them 1 or 2 things that they could have done better.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Nikola Jokic.
And as you'd expect, he's done most of his damage in that low block. I mean, that was the game plan, to get it to him in the paint and just let him go to work. And boy, has the big fella delivered. He has just killed them down low.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. McCollum kicks to Dedmon. They set the pick. Pass to Jokic. From 17 feet out, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
Yeah, you see the killer instinct. He's going for the death blow.
True story. They've got a monster league that's taking a life of its own. Screen
by Capella. Ball against McCollum. And it's Capella missing.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
And McCollum with the slam.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for Chicago.
When you consider the difference in their field goal percentages, the other team has to be happy that this wasn't a bigger loss. This team was on fire.
Yeah, Kevin, it's always frustrating when you can't throw a rock on the ground and the other guys just can't seem to miss.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season. And, you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Jokic.
How about the rhythm he got into tonight? Unstoppable at the offensive end. And the coach was smart. He kept calling his number.
They set the screen. A shot by Paul. Nobody around. Here's Capella. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
His combination of energy and anticipation showing up on the offensive glass.
The clock now can just run out for the Bulls. McCollum against Paul. Here's McCollum. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, G, a pretty hostile environment.
Light it up.